Good girl, Flower. You're so pretty, such a pretty donkey. Good girl. What? You got a video idea? Tell it to me. Flower, you're a genius! Guys, got the best idea ever for my donkey, Flower Power Max 2000 Space Astronaut. Yes, that is her full name. She told me to make another Projects at Sell video, but not just any Projects at Sell. CNC projects that sell. Now, the first project that I sell a ton of around here is Domino Boxes. So I make Domino Boxes because where I'm at in Southern Texas, a lot of people play dominoes. But if you're around people that play Dungeons and Dragons and you want to make a nice holder and a nice case for their deck of cards and their dice, that works great. Now, if you're around a lot of people that play poker, maybe you include poker chips, maybe a spot for dice, maybe a spot for a deck of cards, a pencil, a little notepad. But the cases are totally, really customizable, right? So this is another one we did with the little hiding magnetic lock on it, but these are super easy to make out of a CNC. It's a little different because you can put stuff in it that makes it more valuable, or design little crevices and little compartments in there to hit your specific customer, right? I don't sell these in my main business, but since I made so many of these coming up when I had my smaller CNC, we still get requests for them, and I probably sell a couple hundred of these a year. With dominoes, I sell these for about 60 bucks, anywhere from 50 to 60, because typically I'm engraving names on the top and whatnot. These sell super good. Now, if you are gonna mill these out with a CNC, couple tips. If you're doing one with a stripe, like this one, this ended up being one long board that I glued up this way. And so whenever I milled it, I just did two pockets and I just stacked them on top of each other, right? The issue is, if you're doing this, make sure it has to be straight, because if not, your stripe ain't gonna match the other side. So you have to make sure it's really, really straight whenever you're cutting it. If you're just doing something out of natural wood like this, doesn't really matter how you mill it out. And then I just use a down cut bit to do all of this, just one bit. Use a 1/4 inch down cut, do all the pocketing, do all the cutting, do all my holes, and it works really good. So customer base, you're looking at groomsmen gifts, you're looking at people that play any of that stuff, you're looking at nerds of some way, shape, or form, right? Nerds love nice stuff to keep their nice stuff in. So project number 2 is along those same lines, and it's gonna be board games. Now, this particular game is Wahoo. People love playing Wahoo where I'm at. It's just a marble game. I've gotten a lot of requests for cribbage boards and Mancala boards, but this is something that I sell, once again, probably sell a couple hundred of these a year. This particular one is made out of Baltic birch, so the materials cost me about 15 bucks a board, 10 to 15, depending on, you know, the price fluctuations. I actually use a 9/16 bit to pocket out all of my holes. Most people use a 1/2 inch. Cool thing I do, I stain it first and then poke the holes, and it gives it this cool little look, so I don't have to go back and paint it. And I sell these anywhere from $40 to $60, depending on how big it is and how much it's customized, because I do have 3 different sizes of boards, because some people want it to cover a whole tabletop, some people want it to fit in their luggage, and I've even had a request from somebody that wanted it into a yoga mat because they can roll it up and take it with them. Super weird, and I had milled yoga mat. It does not mill that good, don't recommend it. But any of those kind of board games do sell, especially around Christmas time, but really any time of the year. And if you can figure out a way to customize it with somebody's name or some kind of logo, it's gonna sell even better. So project number 3 is kids' stools. Now, this particular stool I actually made on the table saw, because this is the design that we came out with years ago that is highly requested, but I have made different CNC designs and they sold extremely well, and you can do so many different things with them, right? I mean, this one doesn't really ship good because it has to be like packed, because this leg is glued on there. But with different CNC design stools, what you can do is make it fit into each other and kind of design it with handles, and you can make it super safe where kids can't get injured. That kids stool category is really highly sought after, and if you have a CNC, you can beat a lot of people. What we do use a CNC for on our particular stool is we engrave names on the top. It sells really well, right? We'll paint this whatever color they want, or sometimes we just sell them this one blank, and then the parent and the kid actually like wants to paint it themselves and want to DIY it. So this was a DIY stool that we're actually going to send to somebody. And the really good thing I like about kids stools is once you find a parent or a grandparent that wants them from you, they're gonna get them for every single grandkid. And if you catch somebody in that 30-year age range, all of their friends are starting to have kids, so then they're gonna buy them from all the other kids, right? So you wanna be sure to target those kind of people. Depending on the stool you make, it's gonna vary in price, but I would not jump above $50 for something like this, because the tendency to buy that, they're gonna start shopping on Amazon and get a plastic stool instead or something like that. So you wanna stay below $50, and you wanna use good material so it's not gonna break and no kid's gonna get hurt on it. But these sell really good, and I hope it gives you a really good CNC idea. Now, project number 4 is a little bit awkward, but these things do sell. So this is your typical wall ruler, right? These sell really good, and I'll tell you some things I like about it and why I think you should make them. First thing I really like about these, that they're really hard to ship. Therefore, you don't have a lot of competition all across the world, right? So in your local little bubble, you can make these and sell these. You go to trade shows, all that good stuff, sell these, and they work great. Now you may be like, Ryan, I only have a little CNC. I can't do one that's 6-7 foot tall, right? You don't have an 8-foot CNC like this. But the thing is, I made a ton of these on my smaller one, and what you gotta do, you just gotta feed it in there a certain amount, and then extend it, clamp it down, do the other lines, extend it, clamp it down, do the other lines. It is totally possible to do these on a smaller CNC, and I highly recommend them. One recommendation is don't make them all the way, don't make the last foot a single foot. So people like to be able to hammer it in above their baseboards, and so you make the first foot only 6 inches long, and then you go from there. On this, you're just gonna buy a 1x6 from the store, take a V-bit, engrave in the things, and that's it. So you only need one bit, shouldn't take you very long. And I've seen people sell these for $100 a piece. I've seen people sell them for $40 a piece. Me personally, I sell these for about 50 bucks a pop. All day long, I'm selling them, and they're super easy. It takes about 15 minutes on the CNC. Now, coming into the last project of the video, this one is something we love talking about on Cutting It Close, and that's how to build a business around woodworking. And so this particular product is something that I do think you can build a business around, and that at Cutting It Close, we try to inspire you to build a woodworking business, go from that side hustle to that full-time business. And this product line right here that I'm about to talk about, I think you can do that with, and I have seen it done. This right here may look like Texas on a little pedestal, but what this is awards and trophies. And so this right here is a little third place trophy that we did for a barbecue cook-off not too long ago. And they put, you know, third place, I don't know, baked beans or whatever, third place brisket, fourth place ribs, etc. We do a ton of awards and trophies, and we get asked to do about 10 ton more. We just can't, because that's really not our business model. We do it for people that have helped us out throughout the years. In the CNC realm, there's a huge opportunity for somebody to make these custom trophies, right? I've seen them a zillion different ways, and what's cool thing about trophies and awards is that people want something a little different, right? And they're willing to pay a little bit more for it because it's different. I made some stuff for iHeartRadio for Dirk Bentley one time, and they just randomly came up and found me. They found me on the internet, and they wanted some kind of awards to present wine in. There's a lot of opportunity there, because you can't go ask these giant companies that are doing woodworking on a mass scale, because they don't have time to mess with it. If you can think of different CNC-based products and different trophies and come out with your trophy line, and maybe have a couple different interchangeable parts that are customizable, you can really start to build a business around it. Now, if you're just a hobbyist and a weekend warrior and you don't wanna build a whole entire business off of making trophies and awards, that's okay too. Go to your local cook-off, go to your local Chamber of Commerce, and ask them if they need any awards or anything like that for the next upcoming events, and I promise you they probably do, and that'll get your foot in the door to start doing different projects and different stuff for them. And you do use your creative juices, because they always want something different. They don't want something standard. Whether you have a laser, whether you have a CNC, whether you have a laser and CNC, it's really cool. You can get highly customizable on these, and I do think you can build a business around it. And if any of you are currently doing these, let me know in the comments, because it's pretty cool, and I think it is a really good little business niche that you can get your foot in the door on as you continue your woodworking journey. So guys, that is all I have. Thank you so much for watching. Do not forget to like and subscribe. All y'all's views mean a lot to me, mean a lot to our team here. And remember guys, if you ain't cutting it close, you ain't cutting it right. Not necessarily Wahoo. This is called Wahoo. Super fun game. In college, drank to it. I can play with a little kid. I can play with an old person. These are, damn, I can't say that.
With little kids?
I can't
What are we doing?
I can't say we're drinking with little kids.